There is a parable about a father and a little daughter who were walking along the beach as the tide was going out. The beach was littered with thousands of starfish that had been washed ashore by the high tide, but were left behind as the water receded. The little girl broke from her father's grasp and went down to the water's edge and began throwing the starfish back into the ocean one by one. Amused, the father watched his daughter for a while and then asked what she was doing. Without looking up from her task, she replied, "I'm saving the starfish." The father smiled, gently shook his head, and said, "Sweetie, there are thousands of starfish on the beach and only one of you. What difference can you make?" The little girl picked up a starfish, gently tossed it into the water, turning to her father and said, "I made a difference for that one." It's not possible to live in this world today and not feel overwhelmed by all of its problems. The beach seems to stretch on forever and ever, and the starfish seem too numerous to count. It's almost easier to walk along and watch the waves break and to avert our gaze from the starfish. But I want to invite you this morning to be a little bit more like that little girl. The Glen Children's Resource Center is a local nonprofit organization that empowers children to realize their full academic and personal potential through an intensive 5-day-a-week after-school and summer tutoring and mentoring program. Participation is open to students who attend local schools and meet low-income and academic risk guidelines. Students are referred by teachers, social workers, school administrators, or social service agencies. The GECRC opened in April 2002 in response to a growing number of refugees in our community. Initially, the GECRC served children residing in the Parkside apartment complex on Main Street in Glen, Ellyn. The program later moved to Abraham Lincoln Elementary School and then opened an additional site at Hadley Junior High. And I'm happy to say this past year, a third site was added at Churchill Elementary School. Over the last 15 years, GECRC has grown to be one of the area's most active and vibrant nonprofits, empowering a growing number of low-income Asian, African, and Hispanic children to achieve their fullest potential. Additionally, GECRC serves over 130 immigrant, refugee, and American-born students from 14 different countries and ethnic groups. The truth, however, is that the need is far greater than the 130 students we are able to serve, and one of the biggest limitations is the number of volunteers. While there is a very limited paid staff, the truth is that the GECRC relies on volunteers for most of its programming and to nurture and tutor these students. Today, Dan Minkus has joined us, and he'll be in the atrium after the service. He's been a longtime volunteer, and although he doesn't go to this church, he's at the Presbyterian Church. He's been an amazing volunteer, including taking on coordinating the GECRC soccer program, and in his professional retirement has assumed the role of volunteer recruitment coordinator for GECRC. So he'll be in the atrium after church to talk to you if you're interested. In 2014, the National UCC began to focus on literacy as a social justice issue with a program called Reading Changes Lives. The UCC literacy advocates recognized that the ability to read enables people to more fully participate in the community and be successful in society. On our church front lawn, we have a very large sign that says, "A community without walls." What a natural extension of the UCC focus on literacy and our goal to be a community without walls for our church and its members to embrace the children of the GECRC, the children of the world in our very own backyard. Volunteer tutors are matched with one of our wonderful children according to their skills or interests. Together, Volunteers and students work on homework, literacy, or math for 1 hour each week. Tutoring occurs Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 4:40 over at the junior high, or from 4:30 to 5:30 at the elementary school program. You choose the day that works best for you. Our church and its members have had a long association with GECRC and its mission. John Mulheron was one of the founders and was longtime board president. Casey Saunders O'Connell also helped found GECRC and inaugurated Spellapalooza as a fundraiser. Cleo Burtis, Mary Beth Sackett, and Rick Mattoon have served as board members. I currently serve as the board president along with Judy Cheney as the board vice president. And dozens of our congregates, including our teens, have been volunteers, including my own daughter, Polly, who will tell you that it's the single most important thing she's done in her life. I don't have the time to thank each of the volunteers individually by name, but I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Unfortunately, it's not enough. The need in this community is so great that we simply do not have enough volunteers for every child that is at risk and needs our help. We need more people who can spend an hour a week helping a child to learn to read. We need volunteers who can help a child conquer math and arithmetic. We need you to save a starfish. The Jerusalem Talmud teaches, and when you're in an interfaith family like I am, you get to quote the Jewish Talmud in church. The Jerusalem Talmud teaches, whoever saves a life, it's considered as if he saved the entire world. Who saves a life saves the world. God does not demand that each of us solve the world's problems. God merely asks us to do our part, to do what we can. So, if you can, consider joining us at the GECRC and help a young person to read and to write and to learn. Probably someone not quite like you, but someone for whom your volunteering could make all the difference. If you can, come pick up a starfish. Thank you.